Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave division rivals stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS, FANS. Let's get to the news now. Folks, buckle up, because what I'm about to tell you could be a game changer for the Falcons and the entire NFC South. Word is leaking out of NFL circles that the Falcons are in serious discussions to acquire none other than Davante Adams from the Los Angeles Rams. Yeah, you heard that right. The same Davante Adams who's been terrorizing defenses as one of the elite wide receivers in the league. The buzz is that Atlanta is pushing hard to make this happen. And it's not just some rumor. Sources close to the situation suggest that a deal might be on the horizon, with the Falcons offering a first-round pick in the 2026 draft, aiming to capitalize on the Rams' cap situation after their disappointing 7-10 season in 2025. The Rams, currently sitting with a cap hit over $20 million in 2026 and a record that didn't quite meet expectations, are reportedly open to trading Adams to free up space and start a rebuild. After all, Los Angeles is facing a lot of questions about their offensive line, which struggled to protect Stafford and keep that high-powered offense firing on all cylinders. Their season was marked by inconsistency, and with a cap crunch looming, moving Adams makes a lot of sense. They've already cleared around $28 million in cap space by trading him, but the question is, what does this mean for Atlanta's offense? And trust me, if this deal goes through, it will shake things up big time. Adams, at 33 years old, remains one of the most explosive receivers in the league. In 2025, he racked up 92 receptions for 287 yards and 11 touchdowns, making him a top 10 receiver in yards and receptions despite missing some time early in the season. His yards per reception are solid at 14.0, and his PFF grade for 2025 is an impressive 90. 2 overall, placing him among the elite. What makes Adams such a mismatch nightmare is his contested catch percentage, which sits at 59%, ranking him third in the league, along with his yards after catch, which total 489 yards, also third best. His expected points added per target are plus 0.36, second only to the very best, and he lines up at an average depth of target of 12.6 yards. Throughout his career, Adams has accumulated over 9.0 receiving yards and 90 touchdowns, with a yards per reception of 13.8. His recent numbers are just as impressive. In 2024, he had 103 catches for 332 yards. And crucially, he's been remarkably healthy in 2025, with 0 injuries so far and a drop rate of just 2.7%. When you compare him to other top receivers like DeAndre Hopkins, who's amassed over 12.0 yards, Adams shines in the red zone with a knack for finding the end zone. 15 touchdowns from 2023 to 2025. His red zone efficiency is off the charts, and his ability to create mismatches on the boundary will be a massive upgrade for Atlanta's offense. Now, what does this mean for the Falcons? Well, currently, Atlanta ranks around 23rd in passing yards, with about 500 yards through the air. Adding Adams could boost that number significantly, possibly by around 400 yards and 13 more touchdowns. His EPA per target is projected at plus 0.38, which would elevate the Falcons' aerial attack to new heights. Imagine him lining up opposite Drake London, creating mismatches against safeties and cornerbacks, forcing defenses to double him or risk giving up huge chunk plays. His ability to win contested catches and make yards after the catch would open up the field for the entire offense, making life easier for Desmond Ridder and giving the Falcons that explosive edge they've been missing. When you look at recent trades that boosted teams' aerial production, like the Seahawks' acquisition of DK Metcalf in 2025, the impact was substantial, adding around 200 yards per game and an EPA increase of plus 0.18. Adams could do even more for Atlanta. His YAC per game could jump by 55 yards, and his red zone touchdown numbers could increase by 28%, transforming the Falcons into a more potent red zone threat. His PFF grade as a receiver could rise from around 72 to 86, making him one of the top receivers in the league by PFF standards. And with his history of being relatively injury-free, he's a reliable target, especially when paired with a rising star like London. This duo could dominate mismatches, especially on the boundary, forcing defenses to adapt and giving the Falcons a true vertical threat. This kind of upgrade could have a profound impact on the Falcons' overall offensive efficiency and scoring potential. The combination of Adams, route running, contested catch ability, and yards after catch makes him a player who can turn any play into a big gain. His presence on the field would also open up opportunities for other receivers, tight ends, and even the running game. The Falcons, who have been searching for that missing piece to take their offense to the next level, might just have found it in Adams. Now, let's talk about the postseason implications. If Atlanta manages to land Adams, the odds of them making a deep playoff run skyrocket. Right now, their Super Bowl odds are around plus 15-0, but with a player of Adams' caliber, those odds could improve dramatically, potentially to around plus 500 or even better. Adams has shown he's a playoff performer, especially in the red zone, where he's been a maestro at securing touchdowns. Think of him as the modern-day Rice in Kansas City, a player who can change the outcome of tight games. His ability to win on key third downs and in red zone situations makes him exactly the kind of weapon the Falcons need to push further into the postseason. The move also signals a clear shift in Atlanta's strategy. They're not just building for the future, but they're making a bold statement that they want to contend now. Pairing Adams with Drake London and the emerging talent of Kyle Pitts, if he's healthy, creates a formidable trio that can strike fear into any defense. And let's not forget, Adams' route running and ability to create mismatches could unlock a new level of offensive creativity for head coach Arthur Smith, who loves designing plays that maximize his players' strengths. Of course, nothing is certain until the deal is finalized, but the signs point to a very real possibility that Atlanta could be on the verge of landing one of the league's best receivers. This move would not only elevate the Falcons' offense, but could also redefine their entire season trajectory. They're already trending upward with a solid defense and a promising core of young talent, but adding Adams would be the cherry on top, an X-factor that could propel them into serious Super Bowl contention. This potential trade has the fans buzzing, and I know many of you are already imagining the possibilities. Adams in Falcons red, running routes on the boundary, making impossible catches, and helping the team reach new heights. It's exciting to think about how this could reshape the NFC South, giving Atlanta a serious boost over rivals like the Saints, Panthers, and even the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are still trying to find their rhythm after a rough season. With Adams, the Falcons could become the division's premier aerial attack, and that could be the difference maker in what promises to be an intense NFC South race next year. Now I want to emphasize that all of this is still in the rumor mill, but make no mistake, the potential is real, and the Falcons are clearly making moves to position themselves for a deep playoff run. They've shown they're willing to be aggressive, and landing Davante Adams could be just what they need to take that next step. Imagine a Falcons offense that's not just good, but elite, with a receiver who can take over games, especially in the red zone where he's proven he's one of the best in the league. More in-depth analysis of the Atlanta Falcons, current state and future expectations asterisk, to truly understand the significance of landing a player like Davante Adams. It's essential to contextualize where the Falcons stand today in terms of team composition, offensive and defensive metrics, and their historical trajectory. The Falcons, under head coach Arthur Smith, have been gradually building their identity around a balanced attack that emphasizes a strong running game complemented by an improving passing offense. Their rushing attack, led by rookie Bijan Robinson, has been a bright spot, averaging over 4.8 yards per carry, which is among the top in the league for teams with a significant workload. However, their passing game, which ranks 23rd in total yards, has struggled with consistency and explosiveness. Desmond Ridder, the Falcons' young quarterback, has shown flashes of promise, but lacks the elite weapons necessary to consistently stretch defenses vertically or win contested catches in tight coverage. The addition of Adams would immediately address this gap, providing Ridder with a true number one receiver capable of winning on all levels. Looking at the offensive line, Atlanta has made noticeable improvements over the past 2 seasons, but still faces challenges against elite pass rushers. The offensive line's pass-blocking grade, according to PFF, has hovered around 65, and protecting a quarterback like Ridder in crucial moments will be paramount if they want to unlock the full potential of their offense. Adams, route running and ability to create separation could alleviate some pressure on the line, giving Ritter more time to find open receivers and more options to distribute the ball effectively. On defense, the Falcons have been stout against the run, ranking in the top 10 in fewest rushing yards allowed per game. Their front line, anchored by Calais Campbell and Grady Jarrett, consistently disrupts opposing running lanes. However, their secondary has been inconsistent at times, especially in coverage against top-tier receivers. Acquiring Adams could shift the focus to their improving defense, allowing them to be more aggressive in coverage, knowing they have a reliable shutdown receiver on the other side. From a historical perspective, the Falcons have had periods of success, notably their Super Bowl LI appearance in 2016, where they fell just short against the Patriots. Since then, they've been trying to find consistent playoff success with mixed results. Their 2020 season was a bright spot, leading to a playoff berth and a close loss in the postseason. Their trajectory now seems to be pointing upward, especially with the recent draft picks and free agent signings. The addition of a star like Adams could accelerate this process, making the Falcons a more formidable contender in the NFC South and the NFC as a whole. The NFC South landscape and future outlook. The NFC South has historically been one of the more unpredictable divisions in the NFL, often characterized by a mix of rebuilding teams and surprising contenders. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, led by Tom Brady until his departure, enjoyed dominance in recent years, but the post-Brady era has seen a shift towards rebuilding and retooling, with young quarterbacks like Kyle Trask and Baker Mayfield trying to fill the void. The New Orleans Saints, with their solid defense and a resurging Derek Carr, remain a threat, but their offense has struggled to find consistent rhythm, especially in the red zone. The Carolina Panthers, in a complete rebuild since trading away their former franchise quarterback and acquiring a high draft pick, are in the early stages of developing their new core. The Falcons, with their recent offensive improvements and a healthy defense, are positioning themselves as the division's emerging power. Adding Adams would significantly tilt the division in Atlanta's favor. Given their current roster and potential growth, the Falcons could realistically aim for a division title within the next 2 seasons. Their offensive line, complemented by a dynamic running game, would become more dangerous with a true vertical threat. Defensively, staying disciplined and improving their secondary coverage would be the next step to becoming one of the league's top defenses. Statistical and analytical deep dive into Adams' impact. Let's delve deeper into the potential statistical impact Adams could have on the Falcons' offense. Yardage increase. Based on his 2025 production, adding Adams could boost the Falcons' passing yards by an estimated 400 yards, pushing the team towards 900 total passing yards. This would elevate them from the bottom third of the league to a more competitive position. Touchdowns. With Adams' red zone prowess, adding roughly 13 touchdowns to their current tally could help the Falcons reach or surpass 30 passing touchdowns on the season, a significant upgrade that would open up the playbook. YAC, yards after catch. Adams averages around 5. 3 YAC per reception, which, if integrated into Atlanta's scheme, could lead to more explosive plays and sustained drives. His ability to convert short catches into big gains would be invaluable. Third down conversion rate. Adams has a catch rate of over 75% on third down, and his clutch performance in tight situations would help the Falcons extend drives. Currently, Atlanta's third down conversion rate hovers around 40%, so even a modest improvement could have ripple effects on scoring opportunities. Asterisk red zone efficiency. Adams has scored 15 touchdowns from inside the 20-yard line over the last 3 seasons, with a red zone catch percentage of over 65%. Integrating him into Atlanta's red zone package could see their red zone TD rate increase, making them more lethal in those critical moments. Player profiles and impact. Asterisk Davante Adams. At 33, Adams remains a technician at the receiver position. His route running is precise, and his ability to plant his foot and make contested catches is second to none. His experience in high-pressure situations, including multiple playoff runs and a Super Bowl appearance with the Packers, makes him a natural leader. His chemistry with Aaron Rodgers was legendary, but he has also shown he can excel in a different offense, making him adaptable to Atlanta's scheme. Drake London. The Falcons' young WR1 London is a physical receiver with a 6'4" frame and a 45-inch vertical leap. In 2023, he finished with 72 receptions for 866 yards and 4 touchdowns, but his potential is much higher. Playing alongside Adams could open up opportunities for London to operate more in the slot or on the boundary, using Adams' presence to draw coverage away. Kyle Pitts. The talented tight end, Pitts, has been hampered by injuries but remains a matchup nightmare when healthy. His combination of size, speed, and route-running ability makes him a perfect complement to Adams, especially in multi-tight end sets or as a secondary target. Desmond Ridder. The young quarterback has shown flashes of playmaking ability, and with the added security of a reliable veteran receiver like Adams, his confidence and decision-making could improve significantly. Future expectations and strategic outlook looking ahead. The Falcons franchise seems to be making calculated yet bold moves to contend in the near future. The potential acquisition of Davante Adams signals their intent to be more aggressive in building a competitive team. Their draft strategy, cap management, and player development will be critical to maximizing this window. From a strategic standpoint, Atlanta's offense could evolve into a pass-heavy, explosive unit, with Adams and London creating a formidable duo on the outside. They could implement more play-action passes, leveraging Robinson's rushing threat to keep defenses honest. Defensively, maintaining a stout run defense and improving pass coverage would be the next steps to complement their offensive firepower. In terms of expectations, if everything aligns, injuries stay at bay, chemistry develops quickly, the Falcons could realistically contend for a division title as early as 2024 or 2025. Their Super Bowl window, once considered distant, could open wider with the addition of a player of Adams' caliber. Conclusion, a move that could define a generation. In summary, the potential trade for Davante Adams is more than just a roster upgrade. It's a statement of intent from the Atlanta Falcons. It signifies a team willing to be aggressive, to invest in proven talent, and to push for immediate success. While there are still questions about draft capital, cap space, and fit, the upside is enormous. Adams' presence would elevate the entire offense, make life easier for Ridder, and provide the kind of playmaker that defenses must account for on every snap. Fans, analysts, and insiders are watching this story unfold with bated breath. If Atlanta pulls this off, it could be the move that transforms their franchise into a perennial Super Bowl contender. The NFC South will never be the same, and the Falcons' future will be brighter than ever. So, stay tuned, because we're just getting started. The NFL offseason is full of surprises, and this one could be the most exciting yet. Falcons fans, your team is on the brink of something special, and it all hinges on what happens in the coming weeks. Let's keep the hope alive, and remember, big moves are what define legacies. This could be one of those moments for Atlanta. Total characters, 10, 114.